This one.
You do this one, I do this one. Okay.
Alright, you ready? You should. You ready?
Yes.
Alright. Are you recording? Here are some of the reasons I believe that child labor laws should be legalized nationwide.
Now I know that this was a crazy way to start an intro, and I get it. However, when I say legalize child labor, I don't mean in a way you're thinking. Hear me out. I know from the past it was a tragic thing in most companies, exploiting them, which we agree was bad. However, the past we are currently... Now I know that this was a crazy way to start an intro, and I get it. However, when I say legalize child labor, I don't mean in a way you're thinking. Hear me out. I know from the past it was a tragic... And I know it was a crazy way to start an intro, and I get it. However, when I say legalize child labor, I don't mean in the way that you're thinking. However, hear me out. I know from the past it was a tragic thing and most companies exploited them, which we agree was a bad thing. However, that's not what we're saying to put them into the coal mines, factories, or anything risky for that. We mean something easy and a harmless job, such as McDonald's or any fast food restaurant. It will help them boost their social span and get a better idea on what they want to be in life.
Now let me sum it up for you guys. Most kids nowadays, they're getting lazier and less productive, and they have a lot of attitude to their parents now. And the parents, they're soft. Most of them are pretty soft. Let's face it. It's truth hurts. However, I don't want to sound like an angry mom, but it is the damn phone for most people that causes our problems. The phone usually gives us the problems to our problems. Now, when we say legalize child labor, we don't mean it by the kids who are below the age of 10 or nothing like. No. These kids, let's face it, most of these kids by the age of 14, always on their phone, they already know how life mostly is. So, they already know how their life mostly is. So, they probably know how reproduction works, if I'm gonna be honest. So, but that's why. So this is why we made it a program. Now it's optional. We're not gonna make it mandatory, of course. It's just more of a program for our kids to join it. That's right. It's sort of like boot camp. It may sound like that, but it's really not. It's just like a program where you could get your lazy, less productive child, like no future child, always hanging on the internet type of child, to work. They could clock into the 9 to 5, like a McDonald's or something like that. Because they're just too unemployed. Now, I know what you're thinking. How's the wage gonna look? They're not gonna work like on average like a normal employee 6 days a week. No. This is gonna be like 4 days a week. That's it. Just two less days. I mean, I'm pretty sure most unemployed people want that. Now, their average wage would be $4.46. Because let's face it, for someone 14 years old, what are they gonna do with the actual wage? Our main focus is for them to work, so they can get an idea of life. So when they're older, they can know who they want to be. If you really think about it, right?
And hopefully, they'll be able to decide what they want to do when they're older, such as, a doctor, maybe even a fast food worker, if they still want to do that. Mm-hmm. But hopefully, by the time that they're old enough to actually get a job, they know what they want to do with the skills that they've acquired from that job that they did when they were younger. It'll give them a bunch of options to choose, instead of children nowadays not knowing what they want to be when they're older. It'll give them an option.
Okay guys, so we couldn't really finish the video because of certain things, but we hopefully got our point across. We believe that child labor should be legalized because in some low-income or developing countries, families may struggle to survive without the additional income generated by children working. Proponents argue that legalizing child labor could provide families with the means to meet basic needs, such as food, shelter, and education. Some advocate that children who work in certain industries may acquire practical skills, experience, and a sense of responsibility at an early age. In specific contexts, children could learn trades or crafts that might provide long-term benefits, such as carpentry, farming, or other manual labor skills. At the end of the day, we believe that child labor should be legalized nationwide as it could impact our society in a more positive way. We know that child labor was once used before, but that was almost a century ago where rules and regulations didn't really mean much to people who exploited the children. But now we're in a new age, and we believe that these children will not be exploited for companies.
Now look, that video may have left you a little startled. However, this came from one of our programs from a mother who sent her 16-year-old son tweaking out because she took his phone away. Look how he's getting. Look how crazy he's acting. 16 years old, by the way. He needs to find a job and clock into a 9 to 5 to see how the real world is. Look at this 14-year-old boy. See, It's not only just the phones, but it's also the consoles as well. Here he is on his VR swinging. Look how dangerous he looks. I mean, what if a toddler were to just pass by and he just accidentally swung at him? See? So if your child's acting like this, I recommend you send him to the CAW.
This was a YN Incorporated project.